As I said, it was an action-packed day. The US president kicked off his first state visit to this country. Everything about this visit is different. It's the first time that an American president has started his visit to India from a different state. He did not go to Delhi first. He was in Gujarat, the Prime Minister's home state. It's the first time that any head of state has been greeted with such a mega show inside a stadium. Our first report tonight recaps the first day of Trump in India.
The world is quite familiar with how Prime Minister Narendra Modi likes to welcome a foreign guest. He often breaks protocol and greets leaders of the world with a warm bear hug. So when Donald Trump arrived in India, the scenes that played out were not so different. But the setting was. Prime Minister Modi was on his home turf. The Indian government did not follow the conventional rules for Trump's state visit. In fact, there is nothing conventional about this trip. Rather than New Delhi, the American president first visited Ahmedabad. Top ministers and officials were present from both sides. The Trumps were greeted by Gujarati folk dancers. The first stop was Sabarmati Ashram. The 22-kilometer route was packed with audience on the side. The local authorities had planned a roadshow for the leaders. Around 1 lakh or 100,000 people had assembled to welcome Trump. Even artists and performers were in attendance. Around 50 stages were erected on the 22-kilometer long route. The streets were filled with banners welcoming the American president. Trump didn't get out to greet the crowd. His presidential car was surrounded by men and vehicles of the Secret Service. For one of the Trump's aides, this experience was unbelievable. At the Sabarmati Ashram, the Trumps tried their hand at the spinning wheel. In the visitor's book, the American president wrote a word of thanks for the Indian Prime Minister. The leaders then made their way to the Motera Stadium. This newly built stadium had more than 1 lakh people for the grand reception.
This ground, this stadium.
Trump's family arrived early. Ivanka Trump was seen posing for selfies with the crowd. The reception was an amalgamation of Indian and American culture. The event featured Bollywood hits as well as music from Trump's campaign rally playlist. Indians were seen grooving to American music and tracks from Elton John. Trump and Modi received a rousing reception from the crowd. Even here, the leaders were protected by a layer of tight security. They were behind a bulletproof glass. The stage was surrounded by 2 layers of barricades. With agents from America's Secret Service and India's Special Protection Group keeping a watch from all corners of the stadium. Before arriving in New Delhi, the Trumps made a stop in Agra. They visited the Taj Mahal. Trump's whirlwind India trip has kicked off on the right note. On Tuesday, he gets down to business with the Indian Prime Minister in New Delhi. Bureau Report, WION World is One.